All right, this famed French serial killer expert has recently confessed that his prestigious career has been founded on lies. He's a liar.
So he's been studying fake serial killers?
No, so he has exaggerated his expertise.
Oh.
Why?
I know serial killers myself.
And how can you get
doesn't know anybody?
certified in serial killerness?
He claims that his own wife was murdered back in 1976 in Los Angeles. But in reality,
He never wasn't married.
She's in the other room.
actually, I don't know if he was ever married.
So his expertise started with his wife getting murdered?
Yeah, so this is where like the beginning of his like,
Yeah, he got motivated.
What a great catalyst.
yeah, so
My wife got murdered, so I
what
could.
ended up happening though was the woman who was actually killed was this happened in 1975. This 24-year-old woman was murdered by a serial killer who the serial killer later admitted to killing 41 women and was executed in 1998. So this woman was a bartender who this guy had met her about 4 or 5 times, or 5 or 6 times when she was a bartender. And
But he's French.
but this was in the 70s, and like this is when he was in the United States. And so
It was an online relationship. They didn't have that back then.
They didn't.
this is 1975 when she got killed. So that's when, and this was in Florida. So he changed the location, he changed the relationship, he changed the year, all that stuff, right? So he said that he said it was bullshit that I took on. I didn't want people to know the real identity of someone who was not my partner, but someone who I had met 5 or 6 times in Daytona Beach, who I liked.
He had a relationship with her in his mind.
Well, like he needed to feel like this traumatic event happened to him, so this is the reason why he got so like infatuated with serial killers, because then from then on he started researching them, and he has claimed to have interviewed more than 70 serial killers, but in reality it seems to be about 10.
He's just an exaggerator.
There's nothing wrong with 10.
The funny thing is, there's nothing wrong with just being inspired by a story. There's nothing wrong with like, hey man, I want to study serial killers and I studied 10. That's already remarkable.
It is.
I feel like if you've had a personal experience, you should not do it. Like if your wife died, you should not be you're too emotionally involved.
But it makes for a good story.
Give motivation.
Most people, they become doctors because a family member got sick. Or like it's really normal.
I mean, where would Batman be if his parents didn't get
Nadeem.
fucked up by Joker's homies?
The author could have wrote something else completely different. Where's Iron Man?
He was so rich. So fucking rich. Wait, I don't know. I just made that part up.
He was rich. Or his parents were rich.
Okay, because I was thinking about Bruce Wayne.
So this dude, he also lied about being trained at the FBI base in Virginia.
Big time liar, man.
He also lied about
familiar.
interviewing Charles Manson.
Oh,
This fool ended up being an author of more than 40 books.
Damn.
Did he even write it himself though?
This guy's a good writer.
Was it actually 4?
It turns out that
It's only one book.
he had actually taken a lot of stories and a lot of like serial killer motivations, whatever, from American literature and stuff. Like,
So he just copied and pasted other fucking people's things.
pretty much he plagiarized, yeah.
Plagiarized and he rewrote the things in French?
Because he's like a super prestigious like French serial killer expert.
Did he catch anyone?
So they were saying that they're actually really shocked because he was like spot on some cases. Like he predicted certain movements of this particular serial killer.
He is an expert.
Yeah, because he studied it so much.
Makes up a shitty backstory, which he didn't need to do.
Pretty much.
How did this fool get caught?
Recently, there was this anonymous collective called Fourth Eye, who had uploaded a series of videos on YouTube accusing him of lying, and that's when quickly the story became like a sensation in France, and they started like really digging into all these claims and accusations, and then that's when he just came up and said like, yeah, I'm a fucking fraud.
Why do they? But if he's doing good, why do they not go after people? Like, if you say they think Trump's doing bad, why don't they go after Trump and try to find?
Probably one of his peers is jealous as fuck.
Wait, so who caught him?
This anonymous
try to find
collective.
I like the name because they're like the third eye sees more, but the fourth eye sees really more.
Really, really
So it's like
more.
Snopes, basically, but for like checking people's sources.
Yeah, I don't
I guess
know.
so.
I don't know if they're focused on any other people. It just mentions that this is the anonymous
Like we
collective
catcha, bitch.
that started accusing him because they started seeing how there was a lot of inconsistencies in dates that he would mention, like of his past experience with certain interviews with serial killers. There was inconsistencies with like the way he would conduct his like expertise. Like it was just inconsistent.
And what school did he go to?
Oh no, he claimed, or like for real, I don't know, but he claimed to be trained at the FBI.
The FBI? And nobody even checked at the FBI? Because if I was at the FBI, right, and I was reading this shit, I'm like, I love this guy, man. He's the reason why I joined the FBI.
But he's in France, so no one cares about
That
Fabai.
was like about serial killers, and how the FBI basically termed that term.
Oh yeah, what was the name of? Oh, I remember that.
The show that was it's like David Fincher.
Oh, it's like old, right? Like it was like a timepiece in the 60s or some shit, right? Yeah.
Oh, like my friend Manson, or like Friends with Manson or something like that?
No.
Oh, this was about serial killers. I know which one.
When they first discovered this phenomenon, because no such thing has happened in the past in the US, and they didn't even know how to identify what this was.
You guys seen it? I feel you guys seen it.
I don't watch
I don't
that
think
shit.
so.
I can't watch shit like that.
Well, another outrageous claim that this dude said is that he worked as a professional footballer.
Oh, bro, just fucking stop, you fucking pathological
Like
liar.
soccer, yeah.
I'm assuming it's soccer.
Or maybe
feel
he said
like,
footballer, and then they were like, "Oh, that's hot."
These guys make the great novel lists, and what he should have stayed in was like fiction or like.
He could have made a religion.
But was he hurting anyone by lying?
I don't know. I guess like the principle of it all is like if you're gonna be claiming to be an expert, like you should have the credentials to back it up. But
Yeah, because this guy could have been like Stephen King. He could have been Stephen King of like horror. I mean, serial killer books or whatever.
It's like those guys who like steal a lot of money, but they already made so much money before that, you know? He just didn't know where to stop his lies. He just kept going.
Could have got away with it.
Because he was already successful, but it sounds like he kept picking up
Yeah.
lies.
he's been in the scene since like the 90s. Is like when he really started getting really popular.
You know what would make me more interesting? This other thing.
Because he's actually a serial liar.
Yeah.
And so I think what he likes to do is he probably likes trying to get away with stuff. So he's just saying like, s'il plaît, is he soccer? And he's looking around to see if anyone catches him.
Like, oh really? He likes that attention.
I mean,
Yeah, and he wants to come up with more shit and more shit.
It's probably like the guy that thinks he knows everything. Oh, like you know about like who this guy is, and they're like, oh, who's that? And they're like, oh, he's the scientist. Like, yeah, I know. So he's probably like that. So they're probably like, oh, you hear about Charles Manson? He goes, who's that? He goes, oh, it's this critic. Like, yeah, I interviewed him.
Yeah, I trained it.
One of my favorite things to do is catch a lie and push them to go further and further, while other people will call them out on that. And I like to watch them lie more and more and more.
I like there was that technique that was in that commercial for like masterclass where you just like listen, and then they just keep
Taught by a
talking.
real FBI agent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe that
I
guy's
saw
fake.
that. I saw that masterclass. It was really helpful.
Yeah.
Oh, you watched the actual one?
Yeah.
It's good?
Yeah.
How long is it? How long is it?
I don't remember. I think it's like 10 episodes or something.
Do you use that on Taika or on
Isaac,
Isaac?
No,
Did you eat?
it would have been great for you on Mafia.
I know, right?
Would it help in Mafia? The things you learned in there?
Because the whole point of it all, like, is to let the other person give you the information. That's the whole, like, basis of it. And, like, it's just these techniques to get the other person to spill. Because everyone wants to talk. Everyone wants to talk about themselves in particular, too. Everyone's obsessed with themselves. So the whole thing is, like the mirroring thing, for example, is just, like, because you're doing the same thing that the other person's doing or saying similar words that the person had just used, that person's feeling like their ego's getting fed because it's like, oh, like you're following my lead kind of
Oh,
thing.
your lead, yeah.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
That worked for a second. I was like, oh yeah.
You got it. She was, yeah.
I say yeah to like any response in this room. That's
Yeah,
why sometimes I have
responses?
to be like, yeah. No, wait, no. Especially with what Joe said.
Yeah, with Joe, it's crazy.
Catch you guys.
Anyway, so this guy's name. Oh, let me show you a photo of this liar.
Let's see if he even looks like a professional soccer player, because they got a certain look.
And usually liars too, they
is
say
it?
some bizarre shit.
American.
What is the look?
Just long and skinny.
Oh,
Liar.
that's the whole.
But they look toned.
I like a thicker neck.
Liar.
Long, skinny.
From looking
You
around.
French liar. Look at that fucking liar sack of
That's
shit.
not a soccer.
Is that even his face?
That fool never played soccer.
I know.
Is there even his teeth?
That fool never played soccer.
My first question would be, what happened to your body?
That's not even his coat, dude.
What a liar.
Serial liar.
My life is a lie.
I feel like he should. Did he lose his job?
He
Yup.
better.
What?
Well, he lost all his credibility.
Yeah, he needs to start from scratch, baby.
How do you start from scratch? Okay, erase it, my memory, and then.
No, I mean like he gets fired and now he has to work it all back up. And
Okay, but there's also these
blacklisted.
serial killers that are still happening. He's like, yeah, you were doing good, but go back to the bottom. We'll let these other guys try to get them.
I wouldn't be able to trust
He needs
him.
to be like Sherlock Holmes, you know? The police are like, no, we don't want your help, but he helps them anyway.
Yeah, like
He lies, bro.
he already lost his credibility, like completely.
But he was right and it helped people.
For a little bit, but then what else is he
I
gonna
feel
lie
like that
about?
was like probably he just got lucky or whatever, because he's like a fanatic in it.
Okay, but he got lucky, but he caught.
Then you hire him, Nadeem.
But it's helping people.
But the real
You
question,
don't know how many people. You don't know how much help he actually.
But I'm sure.
But did it hurt anybody?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think so.
so let's say you're hiring this guy, right? You get his resume and it says FBI. How come nobody fucking called to say, hey, how was he as an employee?
Because it's in France. I wouldn't give a shit.
Weird.
You gotta pay all those international fees for those phone calls?
They should have got free roaming charges, free international calls, unlimited, baby. Switch to Verizon.